Today we are continuing in our series called Life is a Highway. Can anyone tell me what signs we have talked about so far? One way, stop, yield, merge, construction zone. All those? That's right. We're learning about another road sign today that will help us on this highway of life. Today's sign is one that we don't always like to see though. It's called the detour sign. Have you ever seen it before? Well, do you know what it means? It really means that, hey, the road you want specifically, it's closed. You gotta take a detour. Go somewhere else. Those type of signs aren't fun, but we're actually gonna learn a little bit more about it in just a second. So let's go in and check with Officer Jay Walken.
Hey kids, it's Officer Jay Walken here to teach you another lesson on Life is a Highway. Today we're talking about the detour sign. Whenever you see this sign on the highway, it means that you're being redirected from the path that you were on onto a new route. This can be pretty frustrating because it's not the path that you intended to take. It can be very frustrating when we find ourselves in a detour. You know kids, on the highway of life, there's often detours. Sometimes things happen that will get us off the route that we wanted to travel on. Jesus said that in this world, you will have trouble. And the question isn't whether or not trouble will come. The question is, what will you do when trouble comes? Hopefully, we can understand that God uses life's disappointing moments in order to teach us how to lean on Him, even during those tough times. Jesus said that there will be difficult times, but He also said that we can trust in Him because He is bigger than those times. We can trust in Jesus anytime we find ourselves in a detour. Well, kids, I know you're going to have an amazing time learning your lesson today. But every time you're riding down the highway and you see a detour sign, I want you to remember what you learned here today. I want you to remember that in life, there's going to be plenty of problems. But every time you face a problem, Jesus will give you the strength in order to overcome each problem. This is Officer Jay reminding you to buckle up and stay safe. I'll see you next time on Life is a Highway.
Good morning, Brightmoor Kids. Today we're learning about the detour sign. We are learning that we all face detours in our life. We face tough situations that we didn't plan to go through. We will learn more about detours soon, but right now it's time to find out what's up.
What's up, Brightmoor? Welcome back to another What's Up. My name is Kendall. This is Devontae. We're gonna talk about what's up. Trust in God. Don't forget,
He has never failed you yet. Okay, you wanna play the little game?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so stand on one foot.
Yes.
Everyone, stand on one foot. You can hold it, you can not hold it, hold your knee, whatever. So, trust in God. Don't forget,
He has never failed you yet. Okay, let's try to do it all at the same time while standing on one leg. Okay, on the count of three. Are you ready?
Yeah, right.
Okay, one, two, three.
Trust in God. Don't forget,
He has never
failed you yet.
Okay, that was good. Let's
That was
try.
good. That was
Let's try
good.
the other
That was
leg.
good. That was good.
Try the other leg. Okay,
I'm
everybody,
left-footed.
switch legs. Switch
All right,
leg. Okay, I'm now on my right leg. Here we go. Okay, ready? Count of three. 3, 2, 1.
No, okay. Trust in God. Don't forget.
Don't forget.
He has never failed you yet.
Okay, let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time, but let's do it without any of our legs.
It's like
So no feet. Let's just do it one more time, as loud as we can. As loud as you can.
Right.
We're gonna repeat after us.
That was better.
On the count of 3, repeat after us. 1, 2, 3.
Trust in God.
Trust in God.
Don't forget.
Don't forget.
He has never
He has never
failed you yet.
failed you yet. Great job. That was nice and loud, I bet. That's what's up.
I could hear you.
Yeah, we're gonna get this party started. All right. Woo-wee! How you doing, boys and girls? My name is Big Papa, taking you down the highway of life with a whole payload of power verses. You ready? Today's power verse says, I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. John 16:33. Sweet buttermilk biscuits. I love that power verse. You know what I love even more? When them girls stand up and say the power verse with me, Big Papa, on the count of 3. Here we go, girls. Stand up. 1, 2, 3. I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. John 16:33. Oh, good job, girls. That tugged on my heartstrings. You guys have a seat. Now I need the boys to stand up and say the power verse with me, Big Papa, on the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. John 16:33. Crispity, crunchity corn dogs. I love that power verse. You did a good job. You can sit down. Boys and girls, today's sign in the highway of life is called detour. Now, sometimes, boys and girls, you think your life's gonna go one way, and it turns out another. Take me, for example. When I was a little boy, I didn't want to be a trucker. I wanted to be a professional ballet dancer. They called me Twinkle Toes, not Big Papa. But one day, I got a bunion on my foot the size of Atlanta. Let me tell you, I was so sad and disappointed, but then I found out I'm really good at driving trucks. So I became Big Papa, and everything worked out. Boys and girls, there's one thing you gotta remember. Keep following God. Doesn't matter what your plans are, because His plans are always better, because He knows you better than you know yourself. So boys and girls, everybody stand up and say it with me on the count of 3. Come on, everybody. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. John 16:33. Hot dog! Boys and girls, let me tell you, you did a mighty fine job with that there power verse. Go on and have a seat. You earned it. Well, boys and girls, it's time for old Big Papa to hit the highway of life. But I'll be seeing you next time with a whole other payload of power verses. Here we go, boys.
Today's Bible story is found in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 15. Here we find King David dealing with a detour in his life. As any father would, David wanted to have a good relationship with his son Absalom. David raised him and trained him to be a loyal son, but that's not what happened at all. In fact, Absalom turned against David over a 4-year period. He tricked and deceived the people of Israel, and how he did it was sneaky. When people came to see King David, Absalom stopped them before they got to the king. He told them, "I know you have a problem, but my dad doesn't have time for you. If I was in charge, things would be different. They'd be better." Absalom's plan was working. He was gaining followers, and his dad, King David, was losing followers. Absalom plotted with the people and decided he was going to take over his father's kingdom. One day, a messenger came to David saying, "The entire country has joined Absalom against you." Can you imagine how disappointed David must have been? His own son turned on him and convinced the people of Israel to turn on him too.
David knew the next step for Absalom would likely be to destroy him and his men. So, David and his few followers and priests left the city carrying the Ark of the Covenant with them. When they got out of town, they stopped to offer sacrifices of worship. And then David told the priests, "Take the ark back into the city, for I trust God. If he wants me to be king, he will take care of me." David handled his detour the right way. He didn't freak out and try to take things into his own hands, and he didn't try to stay and fight with Absalom on his own. Instead, he decided to let God take care of everything. David trusted God to take care of him, even though it was hard because he knew God was in full control. Today in your lesson, you will learn how to handle detours in your life, just like David did, trusting God to take care of you no matter how hard it is.
Of all King David's sons, there was one that he loved very much. His name was Absalom. Absalom was charming and had long, beautiful hair that people admired. However, one day, David did something that made Absalom so angry at his dad that he left. Absalom went to live with his grandfather for 3 years. Even though they disagreed with each other, David still loved his son and felt sad that he was so far away. After several years passed, David asked Absalom to return, and he did. But Absalom had changed. While he was away, he stayed angry with his father. That anger made him cruel and ungrateful. Absalom decided that he would be a better ruler than David and chased his dad out of his own court. For a while, Absalom got his wish. He sat on the throne and did as he pleased. His father David had escaped to the wilderness. He gathered an army to take back his throne from his son. He sent out his army with a mission to take back his throne without harming his son. Even though his son had stolen his throne, David still loved him and was sad that they were fighting. A battle happened against Absalom's army and David's army. During the battle, Absalom was killed. David had his throne back, but he had lost his son forever. Losing his son Absalom broke David's heart. Through all of the disagreements and fighting, David never stopped loving his son. He was hurt. David was comforted by his friends, and over time, God helped him overcome his sadness.
How many of you would love to live like a king or a queen? Many of us have thought of it before. I definitely have. How cool would it be? Life with no worries, no cares, no problems, a castle of our own, servants to wait on us, a chef cooking our favorite meals. I want you to imagine for a moment that you are the king or queen of an entire country. You rule over everyone and everything in the entire country. Wouldn't it be awesome? Well, that's exactly what King David felt. He had been king of Israel for many years. He had everything that he could have ever wanted. After all, God had anointed him to be king when he was very young. He was the ruler over Israel with strength and wisdom. But all of a sudden, things started to go way off course. David faced a detour in his life with his son Absalom tried to take over David's throne. David learned something that we all must learn.
Things don't always go the way you planned. I'm sure David had much different plans for his life and for Absalom's life. I'm sure he never planned for his son to trick him and trick the people in the country. I'm sure he didn't plan to have a broken relationship with his son Absalom. David saw that things in life don't always go the way you planned. We all face these detours in life where things go differently than we hoped they would. There are probably things in your life that didn't go as planned either. You didn't plan to struggle with your grades. You didn't plan to not make the team you tried out for. You didn't plan for your parents to get divorced. You didn't plan to be picked on at school. You didn't plan for your grandma or your grandpa to get sick. You didn't plan to feel lonely. We don't plan for bad things to happen in our lives. We hope for the best things in our lives. Some people even think that as Christians, everything is going to go great and we don't have to face any detours. But that's simply not true. Remember the first part of our power verse today? It said, "Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows." Things are not going to go the way we planned. Detours are going to happen. But when they do, we have to
Trust God even when it's hard. You may be thinking, are you serious? You have no idea what I'm going through. How can I trust God through this? This is just too hard. I know that what you're going through may be really tough. It may seem impossible to trust God right now, but you can. Let me tell you how. Trust God even when it's hard. You may be thinking, are you serious? You have no idea what I'm going through. How can I trust God through this? This is just too hard. I know that what you're going through may be really tough. It may seem impossible to trust God right now, but you can. Have you ever played the game where you have someone turn their back to you and you get them to trust you by falling backwards? That's really hard also, to trust that person that they're gonna catch you. I need a couple of volunteers who can help me. I want one of you to stand your back to the other one. Now on the count of 3, I want you to fall backwards and trust that you'll be caught. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. That was good. Now I want you to do it again, but this time I want you to stand on this chair. You're doing really good. I want you to do it one more time, but this time I want you to stand on this platform. Did you notice that even though it got harder, they were able to trust one another? It was probably easy to trust when they were just standing on the floor, but when they were on the chair, I bet that was a little harder. And then when they were on the platform, that was even harder because they were higher up in the air. They could trust even though it was hard. It is the same way we trust God. Your situation may be really hard, and it may be hard to trust God, but you can trust Him. Not only can we trust Him, but we must.
God is always in control. David knew that God was in control of his situation. Remember? He told the priests to take the ark back into the city. He said, if God wants me to be king, He will take care of me. David was saying, God is in control of this. Whatever God wants is what will happen. It may look different than what I want, but no matter what, God will take care of me. He is in control. David knew that God was in control even when he was facing a detour in life. Remember what our power verse says that we talked about earlier. It told us that we will have problems and troubles and sorrows and detours in life. But the second part of the verse says this, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. God is completely in control of your situation. He has already beat death when He rose from the grave. If He can face death and win, then He can face whatever you go through in life. He sees when you face detours, and He will never leave you. He will take care of you.
I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. John 16:33.
Welcome back, kids, to our lesson review. Make sure you guys are paying attention. I want to see you guys answering all of the questions. This is Kendall, this is Karen, and this is Monique. And we're gonna have a little Queen Monique, my bad. We're gonna have a 2-on-1 competition because we all know that the boys are better, so we don't need as much help. All right, are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Are you ready? Okay, question number 1. What's up today?
Never forget.
No.
Ah, all right.
Yes.
Karen, take it away.
It's trusting God. Don't forget, He has
Never failed you yet. Ah, yeah. One for the
Right,
boys.
one for the boys. Okay. Question number 2. What road sign did we learn from today?
I thought it went till after you asked the question, then you hit it.
The detour sign.
Yes, correct. We learned from the detour sign. Okay, a little early on the button pressing, everybody. Calm down. Okay, question number 3. What was David's son's name?
Oh, so you can't answer that.
Okay.
Absalom.
David's son's name was Absalom. Yes, that is correct. All right. What was Absalom trying to do? Yes, ladies.
To overthrow his kingdom.
Trying to take David's throne.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct. This is a true or false question. You got a 50-50% chance of getting it correct. David trusted God even though it was hard.
Yes.
Correct.
True.
It is true. He did trust God. Okay. This is another true or false question. We won't face detours ever. Yes.
False.
False. We will. Just because we're Christians doesn't mean we don't get detours.
I think we're gonna face more because we are Christians.
Ooh. Oh. All right, next question. Extra points, 7-0. All right, according to our lesson today, things don't always go the way you planned. Yes,
The way you planned.
correct. Things don't always go the way we planned.
A little earlier.
Okay, according to our lesson today, trust God even when it's blank.
Hard.
Trust God even when it's hard.
Not easy.
It is life, even when life's hard. We gotta trust the Lord. Okay, next question. According to our lesson today, always remember that God is in
Full control.
Man.
He is in full control. Amen. And the last question. Where was our power verse found?
John 16:23.
Nope.
Yes.
John 16:33.
Yes, that is correct. I think the boys got a few more questions right, but I bet you got them
They
all
got the
right.
last one right.
I bet you got them all right. So great job reviewing with us, and
Small
we will
handicap.
see you next week.
Trust in God.
Trust in God.
Don't forget,
Don't forget,
He has never
He has never
failed you yet.
failed you yet.
Hey guys, I want you to know there will always be detours in our life. Things will always happen unexpected. But the Bible is true. If we put our trust in the Lord and lean not into our own understanding, in all our ways acknowledge Him, He will direct our paths. And with this, I want you to know that any detour you face, that God is with you and He is in control. Now I hope you go through this week and you have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday.